What is going on, everybody? I have no idea if this is working right or not. I think it is, though. I think it's working correctly. It's going to be a fun show, guys, because I don't even know why I have earbuds in. I don't need earbuds in. I'm doing the show by myself, and that's why this is going to be really scary. Very scary. Last time I did this, I actually thought I did an okay job. Just closed it out about 20 seconds too early because there's a delay of what's going on, but... yeah, that was my really rough intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Investing Bros. My name is Tim, and I'm here by myself today because T-Shroom has work. You guys might notice I'm not at my normal office. I am at home. I am feeling like crud today, so I am working from home after shooting stuff in office earlier today and kind of helping get stuff prepped. I was able to finish the day from home, so hopefully my energy is not too lackluster, but you guys are probably hearing the nasal voice. I have like one of those head colds. My nose is all jacked up. My head feels like 1,000 pounds, even though it's only 400 pounds. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I don't know if this is going to be a whole hour-long show. I don't know if it's going to go past an hour. We're talking about Bitcoin because chaos broke out this morning around the time of 9:25. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in the charts. But it's doing well right now. Up at 28.5 after soaring up to 30,000, falling back down to about 28,000, a little lower than 28,000. We're going to talk about why that is. Some of you and most of you already know the answer to that question. But we're going to break it down from my point of view, and I got no one else to talk to. I don't get to introduce you guys to my co-host because he's not here. We thought about potentially getting Army Piper on the show, but here's the problem. Army Piper, while he used to have all the sign-in stuff for us, does not have it, and T-Shroom is not available at the moment. So I can't, at the moment, get any guest into the show when I run the show. I don't have the technological ability to do so. So you guys are stuck with me. Hopefully this goes extremely well. But go ahead and smash the like button if you guys are excited and you guys want to break this down. I don't have a quote of the day whatsoever. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and get into market open, kind of talking about what's happening there, and we'll see how it goes. Here we go. Sharing my screen. I have full control at this point. So that's the one advantage of doing this one-man show. Nobody can tell me what to show and not to show. That also could be a hazard. For sure. As we talked about this morning, if you guys did not catch our news update, not necessarily a whole lot happening today, although we did hear, and I don't really know what they talked about because, again, I've been working on some other things, but we did hear from Fed Harker at 10:30, and I guess we're going to hear again from him here in about an hour and a half. Again, I don't expect that to be anything big, but that is what's happening today. Tomorrow we'll get unemployment rate from Great Britain. Also, retail sales here in the United States could be important, especially as we're continuing to believe we're going to have a pause here in the month of November in 2 weeks. But moving on, Wednesday, inflation rate from Great Britain and building permits coming out here in the U.S. So not the crazy biggest week whatsoever, but it is still important. Let me make sure, again, this is going to be fun because I got to do a lot today. Controlling screens, trying to read chat. So if there's super chats, I still have to interrupt myself right dead smack in the middle of my thought. And then if I forget it, that's on you guys at this point, not on me. Eric Wallen says, Tim, you know T-Shroom just types quote of the day into Google, right? Is that what we should do? Do you guys want? Okay, let's do it. Let's do quote of the day, and let's see what pops up. Let's go to images. What do we have here? This one caught my eye. I don't know why. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. William James. Interesting. Not a terrible quote for a rando. I lost it. Oh, no, it's right there. Not a terrible quote for the random quote of the day. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. That's actually a great thought because it has to go with like the power of words and the power of thinking. I've been doing a lot of like studying. What is this? I don't know. All right, we're gonna go back over here. I've been doing a lot of studying recently about the power of words, not only from a biblical perspective, but also from a scientific perspective. I've told you guys a story before, but what's his name? The greatest boxer, Floyd Mayweather. Not the greatest person that's ever lived, but probably without a doubt the greatest boxer from a statistical standpoint. The man just doesn't get punched, and he punches a lot of people. He scores a lot more points. He's never lost. But he literally pays a person to follow him around that says, you are the best, you are the greatest, no one can beat you. You are the best, you are the greatest, no one can beat you. And because he hears that at all times, his brain literally believes it. And actually, scientifically, it puts a amount of confidence into him during his fights that he does very, very well. So random quote of the day, but we're going to rock with it here. We're going to rock with it. One more time for you guys who might have missed it. Act as if what you do makes a difference, because it does. Think positively, speak positively, live positively, and that's going to see a lot of change in this world. Let's keep moving on, though, with I didn't share my screen again. All right, that's the downside, guys. Downside of, this was the quote again. I just read it for you guys, but we're going to keep moving on here. Still sitting squarely at 90%. Let's refresh just to make sure this didn't update whatsoever. Nope, not really. 90% still sitting here, that we're going to be in a pause. So despite all the chaos that has happened today, not changing. Not changing whatsoever. Here's where things get a little interesting. We haven't looked at this recently because there hasn't been a lot of movement on this chart recently, but let's look at it now. In the last hour, more liquidations. 5 million liquidations. Earlier I checked this, has only said 1 million. So something's happened recently. Things are going to the upside. Pretty much all of those. 5.1 million to be fair, and 5 million of that were short liquidations. That means price is going up. 28.7. We're rallying as we're doing the show. We'll talk a little more of that in a second. 4 hour, not much difference than 1 hour. That means a lot of stuff has happened in the last hour. Then you get up here to 12 hour, 80 million. You go to 24 hours, because this doesn't only include the rumor this morning about BlackRock's ETF being approved. This also includes just the overwhelming thought, because China got involved. China woke up, their trading went back on, and they heard that over here in the United States, that there was a chance that we were going to get an approval of an ETF, but they were thinking it was going to be grayscale. They heard there was no appeal from the SEC, and they boosted the price. We're going to talk more about that in the charts, but this is what we're looking at right now, guys. In the last 24 hours, almost $90 million of shorts were liquidated versus 18.8. Let's call it 19. And you know what? For kicks and giggles, let's just round it up to 20. Let's round it up to 20. Since we're going to round 88.9 up to 90, let's go ahead and round longs up to 20. 20 million longs are still liquidated, but that means over 100 million, a lot of money has been liquidated here over the last 24 hours. That means a lot of people lost a lot of money, and some people gained some money. Price action got a little fun, but we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Oh, I got a lot going on. Why do I have a chat in two different locations now? It's going to bother me. All right. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we talked about this morning, guys, coming in at 47%. We're going to have to see this change. Now, we did come down this morning. When we talked about it this morning, we had been rallying. I said, if we don't come down, we're going to have to see. But this morning, I guess the price was lower than it is right now. I'm expecting this Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index to print out tonight, probably over 50. Let's call it 51. I'm not going to go crazy over 50. I'm going to say 51 is where we're going to get to on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. And we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Let's take a look here. I was doing some back analysis. You guys want to look at this right here? This was back on June 18th of 2017. Look at the market cap right here amongst the two top coins. This doesn't have anything to do with the video today. I was just doing some research, and I saw it, and I thought maybe you guys would want to look at this. Look at how close Ethereum and Bitcoin got. A lot of people talking about the future of the Ethereum, the Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin. What would we call that? Had a name. I'm already forgetting the name because I have brain fog today. You guys are going to put it in chat, and I'm going to remember. But, so we got super close. Super de-duper close. In fact, that's quick math. Let's just pull up this calculator right here because it's the Tim show. So we're going to take our time, be sweet, and have some fun. 34. I'm going to do 34 divided by 42. We're going to do some rounding up here. We got 0.8. The Ethereum market cap was at 0.8 of the Bitcoin market cap. Now, that's important, not right now necessarily, but there's some stuff I'm working on that you guys are going to be very interested in. That's very important because that was the top of the Ethereum over Bitcoin chart all the way back in 2017. Of course, we haven't gotten back up there. Flippening. Thank you, guys. Eric Wallen, Niraj Kumar, Gary C., Justin Eubanks, Eric Wallen again. Yeah, flippening. That's what it's called. The Ethereum flippening. We're farther away from it, but I think we will get back to that place where we get close once again. Let's take a look at what we have going on here, though, guys. Bitcoin up 6% in the last 24 hours. We're going to take a look at this even more, but yeah, over 28,700 once again, kind of flirting with levels. We talked about that actually this morning before we knew there was chaos. I actually told you guys that I didn't think it was going to happen, but there was an outside chance we were going to make a push towards 29,000 based off of what we were seeing on the daily chart. We'll take a look at that here just in a little bit again and kind of give you my thought about the future, but you're going to clearly see this is a lot higher than other coins up here. I do think we're going to see, Solana. I did think Solana was going to come in. Come on, scroll for me. Why is my mouse being stupid? Solana up almost 10%. So that's going to be the only other coin in the top 20, I believe. Maybe Bitcoin Cash is a little higher, but I don't think so. No. Wrapped Bitcoin only 5%. Oh, yeah, Bitcoin Cash. No, Bitcoin Cash is up 9.4%. So Solana and Bitcoin Cash, the only two outpacing Bitcoin right now. And while they're technically both top 20 coins, that's not going to damage the Bitcoin dominance too much. The reality is the only thing that really hurts the Bitcoin dominance is Ethereum and Binance, and then occasionally, XRP will make a swing up there. But once you start dropping down to Solana, it's so small in market cap compared to Bitcoin. It takes a large movement in Solana to outpace Bitcoin to have a real effect on the dominance. So let's take a look at the biggest gainers, biggest losers. BSV coming in at 47 is our big gainer. Solana right behind them, and Bitcoin Cash right behind Solana. 16% for BSV, 9.7 for Solana, 9.4 for Bitcoin Cash. Stacks is also having a great day. Most coins having a great day today. Let's see if we have any big losers. Usually there's at least one. Yeah, Loom Network. We talked about this morning as well. This morning in the 7-day backup, it was up 100% still, 116% in the last 7 days. Now it's down to only up 50% in the last 7 days. So Loom definitely taking a little bit of a nosedive after having a great week last week. It's coming down. Trust Wallet's down 4.2, still up on the 7-day. Let's see, anything down both of them. Rocket Pool and XDC are down in both of their daily and 7-daily performances. But now it is time, guys. I apologize. So it turns out that when T-Shroom takes off, the ELF does as well. So we have no trivia to talk about today. It's just me. It's just me and the charts. But I want to engage with you guys as well, so make sure you guys are continuing to post stuff in chat. Let's see what people are saying. Matt C says, Tim, are we still thinking 20K by end of year? I'm feeling like 24 is very strong support. We're about to get into the TA. And if I was going to tell you after we've seen today that I'm as confident as I was yesterday that I still think we would see close to a $20,000 price, I'd be lying to you. I mean, obviously, when you see movements like what we're about to see on the charts, you're going to have to start questioning. But I'll say this. I was talking with Drew today. You guys know Drew. That's Druth over at Hit Network. Love him. He's amazing. But as we were starting to rally, but this was literally minutes before we found out what was happening. Sorry, I'm going to need a drink. Minutes before we got the news that Cointelegraph put out that the BlackRock spot ETF had been approved. We saw price starting to get above 29,000. Didn't know why just yet. It was going. And he looks at me and he knows I'm a bear. They joke with me pretty much daily like that I'm a perma bear. In which I say I'm not a perma bear. I'm just a bear until probably the end of November, early December. And then I'm going to flip back bullish. Either that or I need the price to get above 32,000 and then I'll become a bull again. But he's laughing and I said, don't make the same mistake. Don't make the same mistake that AJ made. And shout out to AJ. I love AJ. Nothing wrong with AJ. But I vividly remember, and you know what? I'm going to go back to the chart. I remember this like it was yesterday. And it wasn't. I got to get this chart correct. What is happening here? There we go. All right. Got to get this all fixed. And then I'm going to share my screen. I remember talking with AJ back during the XRP rally we had back here earlier this year, right? So, of course, you guys remember we broke through 55 cents. We rallied up here. We started falling, and I was calling, even on the day this happened, I was calling for a 55-cent XRP. Now, we would know that ended up not being bearish enough. I actually ended up being a little bullish in my pullback. But I remember when we pulled back this down here, and then we kind of had some moments where it's like, all right, XRPs were living, and then it started rallying again. And back up here, back on this day, it was July 19th. We rallied back up. We wicked up to 85 cents. And I remember AJ coming in and he's saying, like, Tim, he kind of was chuckling. He was like, Tim, you really still think we're going to 55 cents? You really think, like, look at what we're doing. Look at how we're pumping right now. You really think we're going down to 55 cents? And I had to look at AJ and I had to say, AJ, you're too intelligent to tell me just because we have some green days that doesn't mean bigger bearish moves aren't coming down the road. And it took some time. In this case, we're talking about this in July. We had to wait till all the way in August, so over a month. Is that over a month? About a full month. We had to wait one whole month for my prediction to come true, and it turned out my prediction was actually too bullish. What's the point of this? I'm not calling out Drew. I'm just saying anyone who's watching this pump, and by the way, guys, we're up at 28.7 again, clearing some good resistance here on Bitcoin. Anyone who's watching this pump happen right now and is saying, oh, that's it. There's no way that Bitcoin is dropping below 25,000, heading to 20,000. That's just not going to happen. That's what they all said back here as well for XRP. This is an emotional pump. What was this pump this morning, everybody? If this pump is mostly coming off of China thinking that America is close to an ETF and then America falling for a lie that we had approved one, what would we call that? That's an emotional pump. Well, guess what emotional pumps usually are based off of? They're based off of manipulation. Why? Because it's not time for the bull market to start. But if I'm a whale, if I'm an institution, if I'm somebody who wants to gather more Bitcoin and get it into my portfolio, the best thing to do is to pump the price up, take profit, and then let that price over the next couple of weeks go down, and I'm going to just crush and kill the spirit of every retail investor. And then right as they have given up complete hope, that's when I buy up. The price skyrockets. They jump in midway back up on the bull run. And I, as the whale, get to have my massive bullish rally and massive profit. That's how these things work. Now, let's get into the TA here. Let's talk about Bitcoin. I told you guys it's the Tim Show. It's going to be chaos. Be all over the place, but hopefully it makes a lot of sense. Continue to ask questions in chat. I'll do my best to go back and forth and engage and do stuff. But I told you guys last week, yes, am I impressed with this little rally right here? Yes, I am. Guess where it hits right on the dot? 30,000. I know it's really hard, but if you guys could look like right here, I'm going to get back here. If you guys look right here, let me put an arrow up there. Keep an eye, zoom in, and watch that number right there. When I hover over this candle, that high is 30, there's no comma, but let's say a comma, 30,000.00. Meaning, yes, we pumped on some news, and ended up being fake news, but it literally hit a wall of resistance that there's no way we began to even take a dent in that resistance. Meaning, if we were to continue to rally back up, we're going to hit our heads on 30,000 again because there's a lot of sell orders. Not at $30,005, not at $29. There are a buttload of sell orders right at $30,000, $0.00. That is something you want to keep your eye on because what formation are we in right now, everybody? We're in a head and shoulders pattern. We have our left shoulder right here. We have our head, and we have now the forming of a right shoulder. Well, guess what, guys? You do not cancel out this right shoulder. You don't cancel out this formation unless price goes all the way above this peak right here, which this high is saying 31,862. I rounded up to 32,000 because I don't see us getting above 31,862 and 21 cents without actually making a move all the way to 32. If we do that, scrap this. This head and shoulders pattern, we're done with it. Don't have to look at it anymore. But that's not what we're seeing right now. In fact, we're seeing a lot of sell order right at 30,000. And yes, we're rallying right now. Yes, we're above some resistance. And here's what we'll also say. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We're also looking right now at a continuation. I talked about it in this video this morning. Didn't think it was going to happen this fast. But technically speaking, we are setting higher lows. We broke the trend, but we're still setting higher lows. And we're setting higher highs. I said we need to get above 28,600 if we want to continue to set this bullish trend. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I got to give the bulls credit. Even though I'm remaining bearish at this time, I still think that this head and shoulders pattern is playing out. We are still in a bullish trend. However, Now let's go and look at the oscillators. We were seeing it this morning. It's screaming it even more so. We're seeing a lot of our oscillators screaming on the 4-hour chart that we are overextended. We have to move back to the downside. Daily chart, we actually still have a little bit of room. This is the one thing I think that if you're going to continue to move to the upside, this is something that's going to kind of come in and have some control here. I do want to see this money flow flip and move back to the upside. The oscillator's moving up, but the money flow at this point is still moving to the downside. That's the one negative I'm seeing here. I told you guys this morning, I think I said 29.6. Let's take these oscillators down. When I pulled up our Market Oracle Pro, I said, hey, we could get up to about 28.6 or so, get up into this red band. Well, it turns out we did just that. We came up into the daily red band, but that's another reason why even if we keep rallying, this head and shoulders is very much still in play. Why? Because we have the resistance band kind of moving still to the downside. It's kind of flattened off. It's moving sideways now, but we have a lot of resistance sitting right above us, even as high as the daily chart. When it comes to 4-hour, we're coming to this reversal coming in. Our oscillators are screaming overextended. And yeah, there's technically a chance. There's a possibility we ignore them and continue to move to the upside. But again, based off the fact that most of what we've seen happen in the last couple of days with this rally have been based off of China waking up and only being able to trade a certain time zone, and they trade based off of old news. And then you have fake news coming out of Cointelegraph that says that BlackRock is being approved, when in reality, it is not. The price of Bitcoin is mostly moving up right now, I think, and this is where it gets a little more complicated, but after we broke through here, remember I talked about all the liquidations that happened. There were a lot of shorts that were still in the space that just got obliterated. They got liquidated, they got taken out, and it's going to take a little bit more pressure now that this has happened for the bears to kind of regroup and remount their little defense against a higher high on the more macro timeline. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but don't be surprised. I'm not surprised whatsoever that after the news was fake, we continued to hold these higher levels, that we only came down here. Let's go all the way down. Let's check this out. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Very fun 5-minute chart, which, by the way, I told you guys, this conversation I had with Drew right here at 9:25 this morning. Why? Because we had this conversation when price was right here, and then somewhere like right here, it went a little higher, I guess, in the next 5 minutes, and then just started obliterated. It was a very fun, like 15 minutes of conversation. But even this, I'm not surprised that, yeah, we came down and eliminated all the explosiveness that happened when the fake news released, but we continued to hold the support of what happened earlier this morning based solely off of what China was doing. Of course, China, it's not just China waking up and seeing the good American news. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. China, Evergrande is continuing, huge bank in China is continuing to have some problems. I do believe I saw a report that the Chinese government printed 108 billion new Chinese yuan. So inflation is now going to be another scare because they're worried about their economy. Listen, us in the United States, we're concerned because we don't like what we're seeing right now. But you look around the world, hyperinflation is a thing. We're seeing it happen in China. I saw Argentina, I believe. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's well over 100% for both their inflation and their interest rate. They are dealing with massive inflation. Turkey is dealing with massive inflation. If you think it's bad in the U.S., just go to a different country right now. Inflation is 10 times worse pretty much everywhere else. That's why the Dixie is still doing so well. But it's also a reason why we might see the globe as a whole start moving towards something like Bitcoin in the long-term future, which is why I'm bullish long-term. But I'll continue again, guys. There's been some chaotic Bitcoin TA, but hopefully I'm tracking and you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Do not, because we had a bullish day and bullish candles, do not fall for the trick that says now that means that falling below 25,000 is impossible. Because I just need to remind you, just come back over to XRP and you'll have learned your lesson earlier this year. Emotional pumps that don't necessarily have crazy backing. Like people acted back here. Yes, was it good news that that XRP won the lawsuit? Yeah, it's good news. But that didn't mean that everything had fallen into place for XRP. And this was mostly an emotional rally of people who had their price suppressed of their favorite coin for 2 years. And then reality set in. And guess what this reality was? Good for you, XRP. It's not time for the bull market just yet. It's not time. Let's go back over to Bitcoin. And then after this, I'm going to go to chat. We're going to read some Q&A. I'll do some TA that you guys want. Remember, guys, we are still sitting. Oh, gosh, this is so crazy right here. We're still sitting in an area that looks a lot more like this. Guess what this date is? October 25th and October 26th. It's October 16th today. If you're looking at a 4-year cycle, about 4 years ago, about 3 years, 300 and what is that? 51 days, I guess, something like that. No, obviously 355 days. 3 years, 355 days ago, we had the same thing going on where we had this pump that I'm sure a lot of people thought, here we go, we're done, we're ready to move to the upside. We had some bullish, very, very bullish indicators here on the daily chart. We were overextended. Everything looked great. And then we continued to just move sideways for a little bit of time and then crash to newer levels. What are those levels going to be? I don't know for certain. Again, I'm thinking based off the head and shoulders pattern, we're looking at closer towards $20,000, maybe below. There's also an interesting spot around 21,500. You guys know Golden Pocket. I'll pull it up just in case you guys are new here and have not been watching my TA. Which, by the way, we've got 50 people in here. Smash that like button, everybody, if you enjoy this chaos that is TA. 21,500 is the Golden Pocket right here. That's an interesting spot to keep an eye on. But we're still moving in a very similar type of experience that we were 4 years ago. And I don't want people to get trapped into thinking, oh my gosh, massive green candle, the bull market's on. Bull market should not start until probably late quarter 2. We might get some interesting price action before then, but it'll start getting fun at the earliest late quarter 2, most realistically somewhere in quarter 3 is when the bull market starts to get explosive. I just talked a lot and I need to get a drink, but let's read some chat here. Crypto Trades has an idea. What's your idea, Crypto Trades? Eric Wallen says, I think Bitcoin continues to rise because the stock market is up today. What's our stock market doing? Let's take a look over here. Goodness gracious. I thought I did very well there for feeling like crap because now that I stopped talking, I'm feeling it. Let's see. SPX has a nice little day. Finding some good support on some support levels we had drawn a while ago. I don't do TA over here as much because I let T-Shroom do some. Kind of working to fill that gap. Stock market, we got the S&P 500 probably getting at least a little higher here, filling this gap. And again, I think the stock market could move to the upside as well. I think you're going to see a little more of a dip coming in. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, but I do think something's going to spook the markets. Again, I'm surprised it wasn't the Hamas-Israel thing, but there's still stuff happening there. Excuse me. What do we have here? This is our Dow Jones. Definitely going to overextend it here. Got some good bullish divergence in. Moving to the upside. Yeah, as a whole, the markets are kind of slowing down here a little bit. Do you have a little bit of a bear trend going on right here? Let's actually look at that. That's something to definitely keep an eye on right here. Definitely have a little more room to the upside before we hit anything here, but keep an eye on that bearish trend right there. It looks like a little bit of a falling, broadening wedge kind of developing here. It's not perfect, but there you go. Yeah, keep an eye on that broadening wedge kind of developing. Did we get our full prediction here of this head and shoulders? It does not look like we did. And this is what I'm kind of talking about. Even with Bitcoin, while the Bitcoin head and shoulders pattern called for down towards 19,300. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on that golden pocket area because even though this broke out beautifully and moved to the upside, doesn't mean it got its price hit perfectly, and we ended up losing that little neckline. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out this inverse head and shoulders we had on the Dow Jones. Bears were a little too strong. Yeah, so stock market up today. 1% honestly is great. For when we're looking at the S&P 500, Dow Jones, that's great. GPTC is up 8%. Got a nice little gap created right in here, so that's something definitely to keep an eye on for maybe a retracement. I do think, that's another thing. GPTC, this is probably mostly rallying. It opened up here. So this gap, by the way, when today started, this gap was all the way up here. We have since retraced it all the way down. Now you're going on the wick for this newest candle. But it started way up here mostly because, again, we got the official news after the markets had closed on Friday is when we got the official news that the SEC was not going to appeal the Grayscale ETF. So it opened up Monday morning with a nice little Nice little gap that more than likely will be filled. So keep your eyes on that for sure. Let's see what else we have here. Sack Nasty said, I like tightening wedges. I'm going to assume we're still talking about technical analysis, and I will say, Sack Nasty, those are just called wedges. So, yeah, I like those. Those are good. Crypt Ditto says, love your TA. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Sometimes it's more organized. Sometimes it's less organized. Sometimes I think the less organized TA can be more fun, more entertaining. Gary C said, that's my favorite type of flavor of Gatorade also. Yes. So if you're drinking Gatorade and you're not going cool blue, excuse me, then you've made a mistake. There's some other good flavors Gatorade has. I'll tell you what. If you drink the original yellow Gatorade and enjoy it, you're a psychopath. Maybe not as much as if you were drinking the green one. There's a green apple one, which is actually delicious, but there's another one that's like cucumber. I would like to write a strongly worded letter to Gatorade and ask who the freak came up with that flavor and implore if that person is still hired because they should not be. That was a terrible decision. Probably cost them a lot of money. People probably began to lose faith. But you never go wrong with Cool Blue. What else do we have here, guys? We were due, Eric Wallen says, we were due for a little bear market rally anyway. I agree. I agree. You know, when going back to those charts, I'm just going to continue to hold to that 4-year cycle type of movements. And that's what we have happening. Like it's not time. Let me share my screen once again. Let's go back to 2019. You guys are going to hear this until you guys turn the same, your face turns the same color as this drink. Because again, I don't count COVID's dip, March of 2020. That's not what should have happened. Realistically, price bottomed out. It kind of bottomed out here in November, end of November. We kind of stayed boring, double bottomed around December, but that traction kind of holds up. If I were to go back and show you guys, let's do this. Let's go log. We get it all fixed up. If I were to go back to previous bear markets as well, boom, over here. We set our original dip in January of 15. Guess when we've been setting our other dips, our other bottoms more recently, December of 18. So it's not a perfect, that's just less than 4 years. When we set this bottom, this one went into November. We kind of stayed down there into December. The 4-year cycle for those bottoms has held up quite nicely. And then you have a period of between that December, January month, you have your pre-bull market rallies, your second rally, your dip back down. Guess where we came back down? August 15th, right in this range. This is where we came down low again, kind of traded. We immediately shot back up to some higher levels. Let me zoom in because I'm probably not giving this the greatest depiction I could. And then we didn't really start taking off. Yes, I don't think we need to get to these levels to have explosiveness, but we got explosive, getting into October of 15. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the time period. We got explosive. Sorry, let's actually find out when we hit these new tops. We hit these new tops more like November, October 15. All right, so little early on that one, but again, let's keep going over here. Moved over here, kind of hit our bottom, started getting explosive in January of 20. So we have a little bit longer than 4-year period, but a similar type of activity. We kind of got explosive here, not getting the new highs, but we started moving the upside. In reality, if COVID had never happened, I do think what we end up doing is kind of doing something like this into the halving. I still think this timeline's pretty, I still think that all of this kind of checks out. It's really this action that's kind of like, what the heck happened there? I think in reality, we probably would have still retraced like this and traded sideways into the halving and then moved to the upside. I think something similar is going to happen when we come over here. I think, again, we have a good dip coming, whether it's somewhere. Let's go ahead and just put my box here, 21.5 down to, I'm just put a little T box right here. Watch this. Probably need to move this over. Yeah, let's move it to like mid-November. At the latest, I'm going to say it's going to happen January. Kind of leave that T-box right there. I think price is going to kind of come down, hit somewhere in this box, whether on the top or in the middle of it or in the bottom. And then we'll start a little rally that comes into March, into April. We get our halving of it. We get a little more pump. We get a little higher. Then we trade a little sideways, have a little bit of a sell-off. And then we start the real bull market later on. Q3, Q4, 2024. Gets explosive throughout 2025, just like it did in 2021. And there is your bull market. So these happen. Let's go back. Previous cycles, pre-bull market rallies happen a lot. They happen a lot when you go back to all of the former bull markets. all the former bear markets, these happen quite frequently. Don't necessarily get emotionally tied into them and freak out. Joe Nickel, this is the Gator Wade. Cool Blue is the best. I like that. I like the Gator Wade. Put in chat. If there's a better flavor than Cool Blue. Whoa, okay, no. A Mellow Fellow says Cool Blue and then put a throw up emoji. That's blasphemous. Only red. Here's what I'll say. I'm not going to poop on red too much. I don't personally like red because I'm not a Fruit Punch fan. Fruit Punch sometimes a little strong flavor, so I don't necessarily love the red. Also, I feel like of all the other Gatorades, you can drink it, no problem. When you drink the red Gatorade, it actually does still stain the outsides of your mouth. I don't love that. So for me, it's a pass on the red. What else do we have here? Got some people talking about football. It's too early in the week to talk about football. I love football, but it's Monday, guys. It's Monday. We'll talk about that later in the week. When will we know for a fact when approved? They will buy for a long-term hold, not pump and dump. Trust will know. Yeah, we'll know. First of all, that was actually something I was going to talk about here a little bit. There's a couple things kind of going on here. Let me see here. I had some articles kind of pulled up for just in case things. Eleanor Tourette does a great job of breaking stuff down. Let me share my screen again. If you guys don't follow Eleanor Tourette right here, go ahead and follow her at Eleanor Tourette. She works for Fox Business, but she's a good friend of Hit Network, and she does a really good job covering all the trial stuff of crypto. So she kind of broke this earlier today. The word reportedly is trending right now. That's pretty funny. She got confirmation from both the SEC. So here she's saying the SEC has confirmed that the Cointelegraph was incorrect. She earlier in the day talked to someone at BlackRock. Where's her tweet? She put it somewhere. She had talked to BlackRock. And so Eleanor Tourette I'm not going to say she was the first to confirm it, but she definitely is the type of person who she checks her sources before she posts things. So that's a good thing. And she's the one. We'll get confirmation both the SEC and BlackRock when that stuff happens. I think at this point, your best bet is to not fall for rumors. Wait for a formal announcement from either BlackRock or any of the other ETFs or the SEC kind of saying, hey, we're going to do this. Matt C, I agree. He says, I think all the ETFs will be approved at the same time. Kathy Wood thinks so as well. I agree. Crypto trades. Megatron 1. I love cucumber Gatorade and cherry. Cherry's good. I'll drink cherry. Cherry might be my number 2. Cucumber, you're wrong, though. I'm just sorry. You're a wrong human being, Megatron 1. You've guessed wrong. That's the improper flavor. Oh, this is more. He said cherry glacier. How long does the bear market, how long is it supposed to last? Again, so like I just said, let's go back. We'll do it again. I love it. I love answering questions. Going back here, traditionally, the bottoms are in, right? The bottoms are always in the November, December, January area, right there of a year, right? Then you get these rallies and then a pullback to where you get a secondary higher bottom before the real bull market starts, right? So again, I am not calling for. There are people calling for new lows. In fact, Crypto Blood is in town. Been awesome. I never got to meet him in person before. Crypto Blood's awesome. Go follow him as well. He believes we're going to lower lows. He thinks that at least he's of the mind that we're at least getting a double bottom, but more realistically heading down to 1,200 or 12,000, which is theoretically possible. My perception, though, is we're going to hit another bottom, end of November, December area in this little T-box area between 19,600, 500 or so. And then, again, I think 21.5 is kind of interesting. I went a little higher. I don't know why. 21.5 is my number right there. Let's go there. And then we move to the upside. I think realistically, we're probably talking about getting back late January, sometime February, we're probably back up in the $30,000 range. I think there's an outside chance that as the halving happens, you start to push towards that 36. Remember, we talked about that a long time ago. If I go back over here, go back to this other chart. We talked about 36K a while ago because that has some serious Fibonacci components to it. Let's pull that up. More macro versions here. That right there, 36, I didn't put it perfectly for you guys, is going to be right there around the 0.382 level. Right now, as far as the linear chart is concerned, we haven't even broken up to that 0.382 level yet. You then also take here, you go and look at some fixed range volume profile. Let me kind of spread this out for you guys so you guys can see it a little better. You guys will see that's kind of also the end before we start to have more volume. There's a gap here that we couldn't really break into that starts right around 32,000, and it kind of rides all the way up to about 36,000 before volume starts to really increase. So I'm watching that area. I would not be surprised to see February, March us get up towards that level, maybe hover there, and then we get the halving event that maybe pushes up to 40K. I'm kind of spitballing here, guys. Not going to do this. This isn't perfect. It could be what we do is we hover. We break in February, just hover around 30K again, and then we break up during the halving event to 36,000, kind of dip back down over. But the higher highs, higher lows, I don't believe will start until probably December. I think that's when we'll put our new bottom in and we'll start to create another bull trend that actually takes us into the bull market where things get really, really exciting. But you do have to be a little patient. And again, if you think about it positively, you guys are more than likely going to have a better area to be buying Bitcoin. I would not be FOMOing in right now thinking if I don't get in now, I'm going to lose out and Bitcoin's going to leave me behind. I don't think that's going to happen. The cards really haven't played themselves that way. And again, it's all about worldview here, guys. But I'm looking at a lot of news stories, economic things going on, and the charts and saying the story of manipulation, the story of the composite man, that they pump prices when you think they're going to fall, and then they crash prices when you think they're going to rally. That's the classic manipulation so that the whales can gather supply while the regular old retail investor gets tricked out every step of the way, and they end up losing. And you might not be a whale now or ever. Like there's probably not too many people watching YouTube channels. There's probably some, but I'm gonna guess that the percentage is probably less than 1% of people that watch crypto YouTube will ever be considered a Bitcoin whale themselves. But that doesn't mean you can't trade like one, think like one, invest like one, and then some way down the road. I mean, I'm talking about whales, meaning someone who's going to own probably like well over 100 Bitcoin. I'm guessing it's less than 1%. I don't know. Put a 1 in chat if you guys have more than, I'm going to say this. Put a 1 in chat if you have more than 100 Bitcoin. And I'm going to see if there's any local liars in here. I'm not seeing any known liars in chat at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see who pops up out of the woodwork. I don't think I'm ever going to have 100 Bitcoin, guys. The truth is here in like 20 years, I think it's going to be a rarity and it's going to be very, very financially, you're going to be very wealthy if you own 1 Bitcoin. My goal, I think I would have aspirations of getting somewhere in the range of 10 to 20, maybe. I think that would be reasonable. I think that would be nice. I don't know how long I'd hold those, but that's my thought. I want to get there. Crypto Trades has 69 of them. Interesting. Makes sense. Yeah, we don't have too many liars in today. Sack Nasty says I have $5. Hey, man, $5 a Bitcoin could be $10 soon, Yeah, think about it that way. That 2x. It's pretty nice. Joe Nickel has inverted 100. So you owe 100 Bitcoin to somebody. Is that what you're saying, Joe Nickel? Because you're a -1? That's pretty rough. My goal, okay, here we go, Sack Nasty. My goal is 4.2069. Intriguing number. Yeah. Well, what else you guys want to talk about today? I told you guys, we might go the full hour. I might close it up here soon. My throat is definitely feeling pretty rough. Eric Wallen, I think if we are crashing at the end of year, we will have a tax loss harvesting. And there's something, I can't see it. There's a heart covering it. Then the mother, I don't know. What does that say? Hold on. Let's see. I can spread this out and I'll see better. At the end of the year, we will have a tax loss harvesting, then the mother of all pumps in January. I still think January is a little too soon, Eric. I could be wrong. It could go more, but I think that's a little too soon for a mother of all rallies. I think the explosive rally, if history kind of repeats itself, let's take a look at the monthly chart. Go back out here. Let me share my screen again. It's going to be sometime at the end of 2024, more than likely, if not 2025. Really got exciting November of 2020. So we're talking about October. We're talking about September, October of 2024. If you're looking at the 3-year, 10-month cycle, 3-year, 11-month cycle kind of period. But we're just looking at big candles here. Let's go to log chart because that's the better way to see it. Big candle happened there in November. There was a good candle in October as well, but those 3 months, October, November, December. Doesn't mean we didn't have bigger pumps, but those are the 3 biggest monthly candles on the log chart here in this last bull market. Let's take a look at this one. The biggest, I can tell you right now, the biggest one looks like this one right here, May of 17. We also had a really good August of 17. Those means that was into the bull market. Kind of got explosive in 2016. Got kind of explosive in December. That's a decent little candle right there. A lot of these are smaller. Kind of had an interesting June, but December's where it got interesting there. The farther back we go, you're going to get some more diluted details. You want to look at the 2016, 2017, 2019, 2020 bull market, how to compare to this one. I think realistically, we're looking at explosiveness. Again, end of quarter 3, early quarter 4 is when things are going to get very exciting, I think, for Bitcoin holders. And then you're going to have your neighbors and your fellow employees, your coworkers, all asking you, the Bitcoin genius, where the heck do I go get these Bitcoin? And then you tell them exactly where to do it. I was going to say something mean, but you shouldn't say something mean. You should be nice to them, but explain to them to get in quick and to be ready to take profits, and don't just fall for fake news. And then go watch the Investing Bros, because they're going to help you understand that a lot better. Goodness gracious. All right. You have to face. IMJ, Investing Bros, I agree with you 100%. Long-term, again, it blocks it for some reason. Long-term, 15 to 20 Bitcoin is a goal. And honestly, IMJ, I don't know if I'm going to get there. I think at the moment I'm somewhere, I don't want to talk about how much I own. I'm not extremely wealthy. I think I own somewhere around about 2. But through trading and some different things I want to do, the other thing is, just so you guys know, full transparency, I told you guys, I'm going to be telling you guys all along the way where I'm wanting to buy, where I'm wanting to sell. I'll be very candid with you guys. Doesn't mean you need to copy me. In fact, I encourage you guys. If you sell at the same time I sell, I hope it's because you saw the same things that I saw and you came to the same conclusion I came to. But I would recommend to all of you, don't buy or sell just because you hear that I'm doing it or anyone else. I don't think there's a single person, and I've met a lot of people in the crypto landscape, that has made every single bottom and top call perfectly. I've seen people that made tops with perfect precision, but then they totally butcher the bottoms. And I've seen people that nail the bottoms that have completely butchered the tops. And it's one of those things that you just need to continue to think for yourself. Collect the data yourself. I've said this before. Investing in Bitcoin is a wise idea. Investing in altcoins is a great concept. There's going to be some great returns that come. But the number one thing you need to be investing in is your own education and your own understanding. I'm not saying that means stop watching YouTubers, because here's the thing. I'm actually about to put a video out. I'm not going to say what it's about, but I'm actually going to kind of review a YouTuber that I really look up to. I've researched a lot of what they talk about. I agree with them on most things, but I think that they're missing some points. They're going to take their predictions a little off. What's the point of that? I'm going to do the same thing. In fact, I love it when you're over in our Discord, which, by the way, you need to be on our free Discord. I love it when people point things out to me. Like, there's been several times I'm doing the show, and I do some sort of technical analysis that I didn't find, someone in chat found. Or I'll do technical analysis, and someone will kind of review it and say, hey, Tim, I don't think you're fully taking that into consideration. I think you're looking at it a little wrong. I have to reevaluate and move forward, right? I want you guys to get into practice of learning for yourself. Now, continue to watch YouTube, continue to learn from other people, because you'll continue to stretch your understanding of how things work. But my goal for every single one of the Investing Pro subscribers is that you continue to come back to pour into the community. That you come in every single day and you listen to me and T. Sherman, whatever guest we have on, and you're like, yep, I completely agree. You're in chat. You're helping other people. I think that every single one of you guys are capable of being your own expert, that you can trust your own analysis, your own takes on the market. And if I keep you guys in a spot where you have to come to hear my opinion, otherwise you're lost, then I'm failing my job as an influencer. My job is not to tell you when to buy and when to sell. My job is to help you understand the market better so that you can make your decisions for yourself. So, let's see. I'm Jay. My plan is to exit position into Bitcoin during the bull run, leaving enough to pay the taxes on the swap, maybe some to create another money engine in stocks. Yeah, I mean, I didn't finish what I was saying earlier. I want to sell a good amount. Like, I'm probably going to at least keep one of them. I might sell one Bitcoin and then keep the other, and then with altcoins, maybe obliterate my altcoin holdings at the top. And I want to invest in some things that will make me money, that as I'm making money, and the bear market's happening and prices are going down, and I'm not heavily invested in crypto, then I get to go in and buy the bottom with the profits I'm making from other investments. I don't think that's another reason. We've talked about this before. People have asked before, hey, why aren't you the crypto bros? Why aren't you the Bitcoin bros? Why aren't you? Because long term, guys, I think it's going to take a while, but crypto is not always going to be the best way to invest and make money. This is going to constantly change. Like, I want to get to a place, both me and T-Shroom, where we're not just talking about crypto or stocks or even trading. We want to constantly be at the cutting edge of what is a great way to be investing right now. Is that real estate? Is that bonds? Is that, is it time to take money out and hold it in a certain, holding? And whether that's the dollar, I don't think it's going to be a stable coin. Is it Bitcoin? But we want to really help you guys find every avenue possible to invest properly, because at the end of the day, rich people, wealthy people, the elites, they don't want the regular everyday person to be making money. They know that for them to make money, other people have to lose money. Well, there's a way for everybody to make money. There's ways for retail investors to make money. There's ways to take very few dollars and turn them into a lot of dollars. But it takes time, it takes understanding, it takes education, and that's what we're here to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know the answers to all those questions. So as you guys subscribe to the channel and you follow us for the next 10, 15, 20 years, you're not just going to watch my expertise. You're going to watch me learn things, and you're going to watch me fall on my face. You're going to watch me try things and fail and then get better and better. The same way those of you who've been following me since back when I was on Crypto Jeb, you guys watched me do technical analysis at a horrible, horrible way. I was terrible at it, had to be corrected left and right, had to learn the wrong thing, got stopped out of trades, lost trades, did all this stuff. And then I picked myself up, I figured stuff out, and now I'm in a place where I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't trade a lot because I do a lot more swing trading. There's only been like 2 trades. I think out of last probably 40 trades, there's only been like 2 or 3 trades that I'm like, yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, I don't really like how that one got. And it's because I'm patient. It's because I take my time. It's because I don't try to FOMO in or FUD out. And I have a worldview that says you got to think like someone is always trying to trick you rather than falling for the simplest things. Because that's, again, I go back to it. That's what the elites want. They want to trick the average person every chance they can to steal their money from them. Don't fall for it. Others will, and that's why you'll continue with money. I'm not going to lie to you guys. In the trading game, when you guys are investing in stuff, it's always money exchange. So if you get a good deal, it's someone else got a bad deal. And if you got a bad deal, it's someone else got a good deal. That's how it works. So honestly, we're going to be teaching you guys how to take money from other retail investors, but hopefully then they join and they become part of the community, and then there'll always be a new idiot on the block, I guess is the best way to put it. Don't be the idiot on the block. Be the smart guy. Stardog said, Tim, we in a Bitcoin bull. FOMO now, mate. Sorry, man. Disagree. Disagree. Tim is very patient. This is from Crypto Trades. I learned a lot from him. He knows how to take jokes and is willing to teach and pass on his knowledge to everyone else. Eric and I have tested this, and we are still here. That's true. You guys have tested me. You guys have tested and seen. Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. Like, I will say, like, I don't even know everyone who's been this way, but I've had multiple people over the last couple of years that definitely came in disliking me. And I've never been an influencer before. In fact, I really didn't know much about YouTube whatsoever. Like, my YouTube experience up until the beginning of 2021, when I was working with Crypto Jeb, was literally, I probably just used it to look up football highlights. Because before that, my whole plan was, before it was, to play football. And then when I kind of realized, hey, my time's kind of passing to play football, I really want to go into coaching. So it was all about football. Didn't know anything about YouTube. I came in, just had some leadership skills and understood things about business, so I helped. And then I learned this crypto stuff, and I learned the influencer game. But, it's very easy as an influencer to read mean tweets and mean comments and mean things and either get upset and not want to quit or lash out, get angry, and try to go after people. And I learned very early, I was like, no, I'm just going to play it off. First of all, these people have no idea who I am. And also, my self-esteem and who I am as a person does not, what they think about me has no implication, no factor of who I actually am as a person. As long as, I know that, my relationship with God is in order, as long as I know my wife Taylor thinks highly of me and Brody thinks highly of me, that my business partner T. Shroom thinks highly of me, if the core people in my life think highly of me, what does it matter to me if someone that I have never met and probably will never meet says something mean about me online? But the truth is, with my response of kind of being patient and playing with them and feeling like, hey, haters are involved. I'd love for you to be here. I've actually had many people kind of reach out and kind of say like, hey, I really was against you at first. But just the way you conduct yourself, I really like you. I actually want to, be a part of the community. And, so hopefully that continues. Hopefully people come in here, they hate on me, and then they get to know me and they like me. And if they don't, I don't care. I mean, I'll keep moving on. I'll keep doing my thing. Crypto Trade says we are here for Beamer, which, yeah, Beamer should make an appearance now that I'm at home. What time is it? He's not supposed to come upstairs. I'm upstairs right now, and he's not. Taylor has trained him well to not come upstairs, so he probably won't come up here. But maybe I'll make a video of him for our Discord. Ninja Glock thinks I'm okay. Yeah, if Ninja Glock didn't think so, that was one more person that I was gonna say. As long as Ninja Glock thinks I'm okay, then I'll be good. Hate me or love me, I'm still a top 50 cent. What? Oh, Crypto Trades. Red Elephant likes me. This is good. All right. Well, thank you guys. I like you guys too. I think that's going to be it for today. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it out here. Thank you so much for joining everybody who's here. Again, we kind of last second. We didn't tell everybody. We originally said this morning we weren't going to do it, but based off of the explosiveness and the news and everything, I was like, hey, I got to go live, hang out with the people. So this was still, I would say, a successful show. I don't know if we ever got above 60 concurrent, but that's okay. We got to, 46 on likes? Hey, guys, we have 52 watching. Get us 6 people. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Get us to the likes as we kind of close out the show today. T-Shroom will be back tomorrow. He just had to run down to Tampa. He has some work he had to do. I do believe Thursday's going to be kind of a same deal. So I think it's going to be one of those things. If there's nothing crazy that hits the news, we might just do a Discord show Thursday afternoon. I can't always run the shows similar to this, although Thursday will be fun. There's an outside chance I only am able to do morning stuff Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because I have to watch Brody those days. Taylor has some stuff going on. So we'll keep you posted. This is going to be a weird week, but we're going to still be here. I'm still going to be in Discord. We're still going to have the morning videos. So you guys are in good hands. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are still new here. Had a lot of fun today. I'll see you guys next time. With that being said, though, I have to wait. I got to do the thing. So I have a 20-second delay. This is the end of the show right here. When I see it on the replay, that's when I know to kill it. You guys take care. See you tomorrow. This is going to be really awkward if you guys can still really see this stuff. Because now I gotta watch this back, and we're going to see.